Joining us now is Kachi Ofia with stories trending around the world. Hello, Kachi. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Rivenavati. Hello, Tundun. Hello, Rufai. Good morning, viewers. Let's take a look at what's trending today.
Catch the fire.
Amazing. Now, we're going to... Oh, I like that, Rufai. I do. Now, let's talk about the fact that babies are reigning for the House of Representatives Majority Leader Alhassan Ado-Doguwa. He has welcomed his 28th child. Yes, you could say congratulations, I guess. Now, Alhassan Ado-Doguwa, during plenary, this was on Tuesday, January 25th, he said his 28th child was born in the last 24 hours, and he was responding to congratulatory messages, especially one from another minority leader, Ndudi Elumelu. Now, the All Progressive Congress lawmaker who represents Doguwa Tudunwada federal constituency has 4 wives, and he disclosed that he intends to increase the number of his children to 30 before the 2023 elections, as he is in his 50s and he is still active. Now, when I think of this story, all I just think is, to be honest, I just hope he is adequately and efficiently looking after all 28 children as they are right now, and they're not just, getting less than average, and obviously growing up to become youths that would eventually start looking for jobs and adding to the already exuberant amount of Nigerians that are unable to contribute to the society as a result of the lack of opportunities.
Right, Kachi, this is one of those topics. My personal view, and I'm only going to talk about myself, I don't really try and dictate what other people do with regards to their family planning, is that nobody can afford to have lots and lots of children, even if you're a centi-billionaire, because it takes more than even just money to raise children. So and just generally the way we're heading in terms of resources being scarce, in terms of climate change and what have you, I am of the belief that everybody should have 2 children. I know I'm going to get some arguments even from my colleagues here, but personally, that's just what I think.
Even from myself.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think smaller families now, because I just don't see how it's sustainable. In Nigeria, we're looking at having 400 million Nigerians by 2050. That is staggering. And look at where we are now. We can barely provide for our children, such that, to go back to the story you shared with us yesterday, the story of Hanifa and so many other children that are killed, abused, trafficked in this country. And nobody bats an eyelid. Like, we go, oh, that's a shame, and we just get on with our lives, because there's just so many kids, and nobody cares. It's a problem. However, on the other hand, look at China and what they tried to do when they tried to manage their population, and they had that really draconian policy of 1 child per family, and there were forced abortions and all kinds of other horrors that were visited on people in China. And now they're having to reverse it because their birth rate has plummeted so low. They've now said families should go ahead and have 2 children and now even 3 children, trying to encourage people. But unfortunately, that has taken hold. The thinking has taken hold. Hang on, the cost of raising children is so high. We're not even going to have children. So all their government policies are not working. We have the opposite problem here. But, the fact that this gentleman is from the north can't really be ignored. You have most of the poverty in this country from the north, 87%, according to Mohammed Sanusi II, the Khalifa there. And he was also talking about the incidence of out-of-school children is mostly in the north. So this whole idea, which is not just a northern thing, it's a pan-Nigerian belief that each child brings with it its own blessings. We need to disabuse people of that illusion. Children bring with them nothing but their cute little face. It's up to the parents to provide for them. The child does not bring how you're going to provide for it. Because that there's that superstition that you can go ahead and have as many children. I really think everybody should have just 2 children. I do. And I'm going to use this platform to share my thoughts.
Nigeria has a population problem. Nigeria has a population problem. And this is a point that we've been talking about since 1988, when Nigeria came up with a national population policy that has not been implemented. Now, as at 1988, Nigeria had average size of family, average number of children per family, 6. At least that's what the demographers told us. And the objective under that national population policy was to reduce the number of children per household to 4. But nobody has followed it since then. That national population policy has not been implemented. And I say that as a resource person for the National Council for Population and Environmental Activities at that time. So it was one of the subjects that I, focused on. Now, you have on the floor of the House of Representatives the fact that the majority leader having child number 28, becoming a matter of urgent national importance, with the minority leader, Didier Lumelu, congratulating him, and Alhassan Ado-Doguwa, that's the name of the majority leader, boasting that, in fact, by 2023, he will increase the number to 30. And that he's a very active man. He's in his 50s. And that, in fact, if he's able to achieve that feat in 2023, he will recommend, as part of the amendment of the Electoral Act, the fact that the Nigerian government should consider creating a polling unit in every household where there are 30 children from a man that is virile. That's the quality of debate you get in the House of Representatives of Nigeria. And then the speaker himself waited in and said, okay, you mean you will work seriously towards that? And the man again said, yes, he will achieve that. Okay, if all of us are producing 30 children, then the projection in 1988 that, by year 2000, Nigeria will have 160 million people, and that may be a problem in terms of resources available. Now, This is 2022. Our population is already over 200 million. And we're being told that by the year 2030, Nigeria will be one of the most populous countries in the world, with implications for infrastructure, for urban planning, and all of that. And you have people who are supposed to make policies using the platform of the National Assembly of Nigeria to boast about their virility. Nobody is talking about census. Nobody is talking about the connection between population and national economic growth. No, we have parliament being turned into a place where people... The other day, one man went there and displayed his wives, put his wives on display to show how much of a man he is. This time around, you have a lawmaker boasting about the number of children. It seems to me that this particular majority leader in the House of Reps, you have him on the screen there, we will remember him that his major contribution as a lawmaker in Nigeria is contributing children, because he's very proud of it. I don't know how many bills he has proposed. Nobody knows that. I don't know how many, what is the quality of his contribution to discussions on the floor of the National Assembly. He's parading children and overpopulating the country. It's not a matter of choice, but it is possible, because what we have in Nigeria is policy disorientation. Two, even when policies are made, you will be told that a Muslim is entitled to 4 wives, or anybody is entitled to as many wives and as many children as possible. Or that, look, this is a matter of choice and religion. But I think that a point must come when, Nigeria must take a critical look at its population. It's either you go beyond the matters, and you provide more for the people, or all of us can continue to breed like rabbits. But whatever it is, people should not go to the floor of the House of Representatives to be joking about serious matters. 28 children. I hope the next time we see another man showing up there, he too will not come there with 10 wives and parade 100 children. That's not why they are there. This is my view. And I think that the constituents who elected this majority leader, should take note of this. That instead of discussing serious matters, he's going there to discuss his contribution to Nigerian population.
So it just shows the problems with Nigeria and how we have missed it. And I know that with right conversations and right leadership, we will get it again in this country. We have population growth pegged at 3%.
We will.
And the funny thing about population growth is that year on year, it has eclipsed economic growth. And that's a ticking time bomb. So 3% is added every year to the population across the same 923,000 square kilometers we've always had since the 60s. And we are not putting infrastructure in place to take in the new population we're getting, and there's a burden on society. Look at other nations, Britain, Italy, and the likes. At independence, had about 40 million people, just like we had in this country. But when you check those other populations, population growth has been maybe 0.3 or 0.2%. British population is about 70, 80 million now. Italy is about less than that. And they have catered for those populations. But for us, we have not catered for our population, and now we have out-of-school children at 10 million. That's what UNICEF said yesterday. And that's a ticking time bomb. We have primary school completion rates of less than 50%. So we are increasing the population size, but I don't want to use the word, it's a very less empowered population. Because children are not completing primary school, out of school children on the increase with insurgency, all the social parameters are on the increase. Nigeria has the highest level of maternal mortality in the world. Nigeria has one of the highest level of under 5 deaths in the world. And all these parameters are coming up to roost. And the shocking thing is that in the hollow chamber where people ought to be talking about unemployment rate, the fact that out-of-school children is 10 million, they are bragging about their virility. They are bragging about how macho they are in bed. Damn it, lawmakers. We are not here for conversations about that. The country is burning. Pardon my French. The country is burning. We need proper thinking on out-of-school children. We need proper thinking on maternal mortality. We need proper thinking on population size that is growing out of control. By 2050, Nigeria will be about 500 million population. By the end of this decade, Nigeria might be topping 1 billion. And you have that in a country where there's no infrastructure, where there's no mass transit system. Look at a city like Lagos, with over 20 million people, doesn't have a mass transit system, like a train and metro. These are the conversations. Lawmakers, stop acting like this country is a joke. Because you people are acting like this country is a joke, boasting about your 4 wives and 28 children. A lot of people are looking and they're crying. And they hope you guys get it, but you guys don't get it.
Sorry there, a bit of context I have to say. That
I
was
completely
a
agree
moment
with you.
of light banter, as happens even in the most serious of workplaces, as happens even here. It wasn't a debate, it wasn't even a conversation, it was a joke. And people are allowed to joke. They were not debating that.
Well, except that it's this same Honorable Ado-Doguwa who went to the floor of the same House of Representatives to display his 4 wives. So that's about context.
Look at that.
And now he's reporting
we could
back.
go on and on about this
Hold on a moment.
topic.
And now he's reporting back.
Let's hold.
Now he's reporting back that one of his wives has been delivered of a baby, and that we should expect 2 more before they leave that parliament.
No, yes, I think.
Can he focus on more serious things? I would like to know, what are those bills that Honorable Doguwa has, proposed, the contribution he has made to debate. I'm not interested in what he does, which is 4 wives. We don't want a regular report on what he does in the workshop that he has set up in his home. And as for banter, some jokes,
We're looking,
some
let's
jokes
hope
don't
that
make
within
sense.
the next 2
He
years
wants
we
a
can
polling
get that.
unit. Can you imagine that?
A mess, a big mess. Well, let's talk about the fact that over 26,000 Nigerians have signed a petition on change.org to stop the demand for English proficiency tests from Nigerians looking to travel abroad for studies or work. Now, this petition, which was initiated by policy shapers, was titled "Stop Asking Nigerians to Write IELTS." Now, in this petition, which was addressed to the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom, Priti Patel, the group Policy Shapers said the UK Home Office, which has 18 countries on its list which are exempted from writing the test, should apply the same to Nigeria and other Anglophone countries on the continent. Apart from that issue, it also argued that a test that costs more than 3 times the minimum wage and the result expires in 2 years should not be required of Nigerians, since the country is predominantly English speaking. What are your thoughts on this? I'm going to begin with Rufai.
My thoughts on this, Kachi, I just want to put it into context. I think we should stop writing IELTS because it's a way to fleece us off in Africa for a language the colonialists came to teach us and they taught us well. Cost of IELTS exam in Anglophone Africa versus poverty rate, just hear it, Kachi. In Ghana, it will take you $283 to write IELTS test. Poverty rate 55.1. In Kenya, it will take you $248. Poverty rate, 86%. Uganda, $313. Poverty rate, 87%. Botswana, $280. Poverty rate, 59.1%. Nigeria, $202. Poverty rate, 92%. Zimbabwe, $304. Poverty rate, 82.8%. Namibia, $310. Poverty rate, 51%. South Africa, $286. 56.9%. I think everybody should go out there and sign that petition. This must stop. This is colonialism part 2. Nigerians are proficient in English even more than some British people. Because you'll be shocked. A lot of British people themselves don't speak the language. A lot of them, their first language were probably Kemru or Gaelic. Yes!
Gaelic is Irish.
Irish, yeah. That's a lot of people, that's their first language.
Yeah.
Even before English. So if that's the case, then why do you insist that we, that you have taught this language, must have to write another confirmatory exam to be able to show that we can speak English language? I think everybody should go and sign that petition, and that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
So no?
Okay, well, whoever thought of this petition should be commended. It's one thing to take the test and feel completely humiliated, being given a question like, tell me about yourself and your family, which I've been told is part of the oral test, because you have the oral, you have the written, that is that basic, what any Nigerian primary school child can do in seconds. But it's another thing to actually take action. So that person should be commended, as should everybody who has signed it. And yes, I completely agree with you here, Rufai. It's wrong and it's exploitative, I think. It's completely unnecessary. We're all proficient in English, and I think we all know that. So it's obviously just about trying to fleece the Nigerian public, and it's unfair.
Okay, in 1996, I think, early 96, I had to sit, to write the test of English as a foreign language. I was going to the U.S., to the University of Maryland at College Park as a Fulbright scholar. But look, I was shocked myself. So they just tell you that, well, if English language is not your first tongue, then of course you must take the test. Now, the UK Home Office has made an exemption for 18 countries in the Commonwealth, including Antigua, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, countries from the Caribbean. And the test of it is that, look, in countries where 51% of the population use English as their first language, they will not want to write, they will not need to write that test of English as a foreign language. That's the US one. The English one is the IELTS. Yeah. Now, the petitioners, under the umbrella of policy shapers, they're saying that no, you cannot, this criteria we do not agree. Nigeria should not be one of these countries. Kenya should not be one of the countries that will write the exam, because in these countries, English is taken as the official language. But the question to ask is, do we have up to 51% of the Nigerian population that can speak English as first language? 3 months after the petition had been submitted, the Home Office has refused to reply. In an interview granted to the BBC by the spokesperson of the Home Office, the excuse that has been given is this criteria that I have laid out. But as Nigerians, who probably find it very embarrassing that this policy is still there, I think we can join the petitioners to say that this should be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Imagine somebody asking me to come and write. There was even comprehension. There was even an audio test. And I thought, what's going on here? And then I got to the United States, and they will ask you very patronizingly, where did you learn English? Huh? How many television sets do you people have in Africa? Oh, I saw your brother, Kofi. Your brother, Kofi. I said, no, Kofi is not my brother. Kofi is from Ghana. I'm from Nigeria.
Hey.
So there's a lot of ignorance out there, but these are policies that we can push, and that's why a group like Policy Shapers, is important in saying, look, these countries, they have to review, their processes. But you can't blame them also, because when we go to the US, some of these people from Mongolia, from Cambodia, and all of that, the US government had to organize some 2 months, 3 months remedial program for them to be able to learn English and speak it properly. But for Nigeria, I think it's quite a scandal. So if you want to people to take the test, at least differentiate. You're asking, as in 1996, when I sat for that exam, my PhD was already gathering dust. Okay? More than 6 years old. And yet I sat down there, I was listening to a primary school test in how to write English. So it can be embarrassing for some people, but maybe some people need it. So that I think is what we can ask for.
Well, I think we can quickly take our last story. It's been raining baby mama side chicks and a lot of hypocrisy within the world of entertainment. Gospel singer Samuel Poso is trending, and he has tendered an apology to his wife for cheating on her. However, the court of social media adjudicating on this issue is far from being pacified. Various negative reactions have trailed his public apology following a viral video of the woman he had an affair with admitting that she is pregnant and intends to keep the baby. Now, many have criticized him for being a gospel singer and having an extramarital affair simultaneously. Well, in a statement that he shared, he said he will be suspending all ministry works for now until he regains full restoration. He has also privatized his Instagram page as a result of the trolling.
I'm not touching this one, Kachi. So I don't know what.
I think we should get it off social media, allow Samuel Poso fix his ordeal with his wife and his family.
Yeah.
And you know why I say this? And I think it's best for people to stop commenting and judging. You know why I said it? Not that I'm supporting infidelity, but because of his children. He's got children involved, and the future of those children matter and things like that. And I pray and I hope they sort out their stuff. I am not in support of infidelity in any way. But, I want to reference the Bible that he who is without sin should be the first one to cast a stone. So, like a lot of people are saying in social media, they can go ahead, but they forget that he's got family, he's got children, and the future matters. So I'm not going to touch this.
And he's a human being.
Yeah, he's apologized.
We all have sinned. And we are falling short of Pastor. Please help me complete it.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Falling
Kachi.
short of the glory of God.
Yes. Thank you very much.